Sean Motter is on their out lap. Sean Motter appears focused and prepared driving through Rallentis or Dunlop.
I have always loved this section of the track.
The adrenaline is pumping. Martin Meyer is on their out lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time. Martin Meyer is driving through Virage de la Chapelle. This is where the mental game comes into play. Sean Motter is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run. Sean Motter is looking relatively composed going through Kemen Ox bumps.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
It's all about strategy in these early moments. Robert R. Coots is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run and get everything just right.
These are the moments that really matter. Let's see if Robert R. Coots can deliver.
Robert R. Coots appears focused and prepared driving through SQ Garage Move.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
Mike McGear crosses the start-finish line at the end of their out lap. Mike McGear is driving through Corb Dunlop. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. JP Liu has improved by -0.1 up through Rallentis or Dunlop. It looks like Ronnie Jonker is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right.
This is the moment they've been preparing for. Let's see if they can execute.
Ronnie Jonker is looking relatively composed going through the Sente de la Chapelle. It's clear that Mark Guy is pushing Thiercar to the very edge of traction on this qualifying lap. Robert R. Coots is on their first flying lap.
Let's see if they can put a good marker down.
Sean Motter will be looking to use this first hot lap to set a solid time in the standings.
They certainly are. This is shaping up to be a great performance by Sean Mater.
Sean Motter appears focused and prepared driving through Corb Dunlop. Peter Grobler has completed their first flying lap in 1:40.871. Peter Grobler is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.18 seconds down.
Peter Grobler needs to refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of.
You can feel the tension building. Martin Meyer is out on track and getting ready to push for their qualifying time. Martin Meyer is driving through Garage de la Chapelle. Sean Motter is looking for ways to improve their consistency. Sean Motter is looking relatively composed going through du Garage Bleu.
I have always loved this section of the track.
Sean Motter will be happy having put themselves into third in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts. I'm sure they can find a little extra in there.
Philip Van Staden is up -0.51. Philip Van Staden is now up -0.45 in du Garage Bleu. It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Peter Geldenhuys so far. They find themselves, that's the outlap done for Peter Geldenhuys. They'll now look to focus on their first flying lap. Peter Geldenhuys appears focused and prepared driving through Corb Dunlop. A disappointing performance from Jean-Pierre Dutoit so far in this qualifying session. Finding themselves in 21st position is certainly not what they were aiming for. However, they have the talent and experience to bounce back and salvage a better result. It's been a struggle for Witteveen in qualifying. As of now, they find themselves in 15th position, which is well below their expectations. However, motorsport is unpredictable, and there's still an opportunity for them to shine and move up the grid.
Absolutely, Lucy. Witteveen is aware of the current situation, and
Witteveen has some work to do, as that 1:42.302 is only good enough for 12th.
that's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
And there goes Mike McGear, currently in position 9. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. A solid qualifying performance by JP Brand will be happy having put themselves into third in this qualifying session. Ernest Heather has positioned themselves well in second during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start.
Couldn't agree more, Lucy.
Ernest Heather will be happy having put themselves into second in this qualifying session. A solid performance from Sean Motter as they currently hold position 4. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. Sean Sean Motter will be happy having put themselves into fourth in this qualifying session. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Bugatti Circuit Le Mans, as we're getting ready to get things underway. As the drivers prepare to take off, Peter Grobler sits in second place on the starting grid.
They are in a good place to mount a good challenge come the first corner.
Coming in at third, we have JP Brand.
Let's see what JP Brand can do.
Sean Motter will look to make a splash from the fourth position on the starting grid.
Big things expected for Sean Mater today.
JP Liu is fifth.
JP Lau will be expected to bring home solid points.
The lights go out, and we are off to a flying start.
This is where the true test of a driver's skill comes into play. It's all about finding the right line and carrying as much speed as possible from the turn.
The drivers will need to be precise and calculated if they want to make it through this section unscathed.
And with so many cars jostling for position, it's a real test of nerve as well. One wrong move and you can be out of the race before it even really gets started.
That's right. The pressure is really on these drivers to perform. The stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents of them to take over when the dust settles on this one. The pressure is on when the field is this tightly packed. Maintaining just enough aggression to hold off their rivals without pushing too hard will help these drivers keep it clean. The racing is normally closely fought here at Bugatti Circuit Le Mans. I think we are in for a cracking race.
What a beautiful day for racing here at Bugatti Circuit Le Mans. This is going to be good to watch.
The drivers are jockeying for position. Jonathan Visser will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position. Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between Robert Arcoots and 12th and Mike Mitchell. It's been tense with a gap of only 0.4 seconds. Hold on a second. This is a disaster for Robert Arcoots in the SSM Alfa Romeo Giulietta TCR coming into the pits and isn't going to do much to improve their chances in this race.
That's going to be a big disappointment for them at this stage. Let's hope the team can regroup and make some sort of recovery.
Sean Maher is running fifth. They are trying to catch JP Liu.
The gap between them is now just over 0.3 seconds.
They're giving it everything they've got. It's a battle of nerves as they push the limits of adhesion, going wheel to wheel in a thrilling display of racing prowess. The battle for 9 is heating up as Ronnie Jonker tries to catch Rian Barkhuizen in P9.
With just 0.3 seconds between them, Ronnie Jonker will need to close the gap to have hopes of a pass.
Looks like Jonathan Visser is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control.
It's a steady race for Jean so far. They haven't made any mistakes, and they are maintaining their focus. John, can you share some strategies that drivers use to manage tire degradation during a race?
Certainly, Lucy. Some strategies include adjusting the car's setup for better tire life, altering driving lines to reduce wear, and using tire management techniques like lift and coast to preserve grip for as long as possible.
The race is heating up as Martin Meyer in 17th closes in on Jonathan Visser. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight.
That's right, Martin Mayer in 17th knows they have to push to the...
Hold on a second. This is a disaster for Robert Arcoots in the SSM Alfa Romeo Giulietta TCR coming into the pits and isn't going to do much to improve their chances in this race.
That's going to be a big disappointment for them at this stage. Let's hope the team can regroup and make some sort of recovery.
Hold on a second. This is a disaster for Robert Arcoots in the SSM Alfa Romeo Giulietta TCR coming into the pits and isn't going to do much to improve their chances in this race.
That's going to be a big disappointment for them at this stage. Let's hope the team can regroup and make some sort of recovery.
This is going to be a nail-biter. Wayne Midden is defending for their left, but Rian Barkhuizen is right there doing everything they can to force a mistake.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Oh my, Peter Grobler is hot on the tail of JP Brand. As they come into Corb Dunlop, I'm sure they may have a cheeky peek up the inside.
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Peter Grobler is taking that advice to heart today.
The delta between Ronnie Jonker in 9th and Rian Barkhuizen remains over a second, but Ronnie Jonker is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 5 minutes left in this session to make that happen.
It's going to be tough for Ronnie Jonker, as Rian Barkhuizen seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Ronnie Jonker pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Peter Geldenhuys, who is currently in P13. But Philip Van Staden is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Peter Geldenhuys.
Indeed, the anticipation is high as Peter Geldenhuys tries to reel in Philip Van Staden. But Philip Van Staden is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Peter Geldenhuys needs to find a little extra speed to bring the fight to Philip van Staden and move up the field.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Ronnie Jonker trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Rian Barkhuizen. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish. Hold on a second. This is a disaster for Robert R. Coots in the SSM Alfa Romeo Giulietta TCR coming into the pits and isn't going to do much to improve their chances in this race.
That's going to be a big disappointment for them at this stage. Let's hope the team can regroup and make some sort of recovery.
Things don't seem to be going Rian Barkhuizen's way in this race, as that's a big gap they'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here. Good news for Rian Barkhuizen, the gap to Jandre Bucas has decreased. It's now down to 0.5 seconds.
This is where the pressure really starts to build. Both drivers will need to stay calm and focused if they want to come out on top.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Martin Meyer will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not. Hold on a second. This is a disaster for Robert R. Coots in the SSM Alfa Romeo Giulietta TCR coming into the pits and isn't going to do much to improve their chances in this race.
That's going to be a big disappointment for them at this stage. Let's hope the team can regroup and make some sort of recovery.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Ronnie Jonker trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Rian Barkhuizen. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Rian Barkhuizen is not going to give up the position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Ronnie Jonker in P7 doing everything they can to catch up.
Well, it doesn't look like Rian Barkhuizen is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Jandre Bucas. It's game on now. Rian Barkhuizen has closed the gap to Jandre Bucas. It's now down to 0.5 seconds.
He'll be looking for a mistake to pounce on.
The tension is building as Ronnie Jonker trails behind Rian Barkhuizen. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Rian Barkhuizen is pushing to maintain the lead, while Ronnie Jonker is working to close in and challenge for the position. Martin Meyer has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Philip van Staden. I expect their only hope at this point is that Philip van Staden makes an error. This is a thrilling battle as Ronnie Jonker edges closer to Rian Barkhuizen in a fight for P6.
It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Ronnie Jonker is really walking that fine line.
Fantastic move from Ronnie Jonker, who has just gained a position.
Absolutely. Ronnie Jonker is really putting on a clinic out there, and they're making it look easy.
It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Peter Grobler as they have a big gap ahead of them to close at this point in time. Ronnie Jonker is pushing hard to catch up to Rian Barkhuizen. That's not a small gap, but Ronnie Jonker has what it takes to challenge for the position. The gap between Ronnie Jonker and Rian Barkhuizen is getting smaller.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
The race is heating up as Jandre Bucas in 7th closes in on Ronnie Jonker. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Peter Grobler, who is currently in P3. But Ernest Heather is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Peter Grobler. The delta between Jandre Bucas in 7th and Ronnie Jonker remains over a second, but Jandre Bucas is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 12 minutes left in this session to make that happen. It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. This is what it's all about, folks. Ronnie Jonker is in hot pursuit of Rian Barkhuizen, who's just trying to stay ahead.
It's a battle for position as Ronnie Jonker tries to make a move on Rian Barkhuizen. This is what racing is all about.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Peter Grobler is breathing down the neck of Ernest Heather, not giving them any room to relax.
They say rubbing is racing, but if Peter Grobler gets too close, they might end up trading carbon fiber souvenirs instead of positions.
Every move counts now as Ronnie Jonker works to reel in Rian Barkhuizen and overtake for P5. Superb driving from Ronnie Jonker, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race. It's a thrilling pursuit as Jandre Bucas is right behind Ronnie Jonker, keeping the pressure on for 5th place.
You can feel the intensity in the air. The slightest mistake could cost either of them valuable time and the position.
Things are heating up as Philip van Staden closes in on Peter Geldenhuis. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
That's right, Lucy. The pressure can easily get the best of even seasoned drivers. The fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see who will come out on top in this epic showdown.
Jandre Bucas is looking for an opportunity to get round Ronnie Jonker.
If they get too close, they might end up taking the paint off.
The race is really heating up. Peter Grobler is hunting down Ernest Heather with everything they've got. No room for error here. Jandre Bucas is breathing down the neck of Ronnie Jonker, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
The chase between Jandre Bucas and Ronnie Jonker is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
Peter Geldenhuis is on a mission, chasing Philip van Staden, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. This is where the race gets really interesting. Peter Grobler is closing in on Ernest Heather.
It's a game of strategy now as Peter Grobler hunts down Ernest Heather. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
The adrenaline is pumping as Jandre Bucas gets within striking distance of Ronnie Jonker in their race for 5th.
If things go wrong between Jandre Bucas and Ronnie Jonker, they could be exchanging more than just paint, like maybe a strongly worded post-race chat.
Philip van Staden is placed 9th at the moment. Breaking development. Oh dear, Philip van Staden has had an incident. The pressure is on for Peter Grobler as they try to catch up to Ernest Heather.
This is where every inch counts. Peter Grobler is pushing hard to close the gap on Ernest Heather. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
JP Brand is on fire in the last sector.
They're not leaving anything on the table.
It's all over. JP Brand has claimed victory in this race with a stunning drive that will be remembered for years to come. Clearly at the top of their game right now. Peter Grobler takes second place with a fantastic race. What a race from Ernest Heather. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium.
Great job bringing it home.
JP Liu claim fourth. Taking fifth and sixth is Jandre Bucas and Ronnie Jonker. Followed by Jacobus Basson and Wafik Thiessen in 7th and 11th. Ernest Basson end in 8th. 9th is Peter Geldenhuis. Philip van Staden take 10th. Finishing 12th is Mike McGear. There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at Bugatti Circuit Le Mans, as we're getting ready to kick things off. Taking off from the second grid slot is the skilled driver, Philip van Staden.
Philip van Staden will be ready to show what they're made of.
And in the third position, it's none other than Ernest Besson. Jacobus Besson will begin the race from the fourth spot on the starting grid.
The South African driver will be focused on a good result from here.
Ronnie Jonker lines up in fifth place as the engines rev and the race begins. This first sector will test the driver's skills and their ability to stay focused.
Maintaining composure is essential in this high-stakes environment. The ability to react and adapt will be the key to success.
Talk about a rough beginning. Peter Geldenhuys must feel like they've got the world's heaviest anchor attached to their car, dropping positions at the start.
The starting grid is no time to catch 40 winks Lucy. Peter Geldenhuys better wake up and get on with the job.
Peter Grobler is placed in fourth.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
Our sixth place starter, Jandre Bucas, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track. JP Liu is going to be starting from 7th.
Another mid-pack start for JP Liu.
As the engines roar to life, JP Brandt prepares to take off from the 9th position on the starting grid.
It's the mediums tyre compounds for JP Brandt.
Ernest Heather has qualified 10th. As we watch the drivers fight it out in the first lap, I can already feel that this is going to be an epic race.
Like gladiators they enter Lucy, but instead of lions and swords our champions fight in an arena of tarmac, and with fire-breathing machines of cutting-edge materials, designed to explore the very limits of physics itself in what can sometimes be very much a fight to the death.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
Safety car.
We'll have to wait to see if Rian Barkhausen can use the draft to their advantage, or if the lack of downforce will hinder their progress.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Ronnie Jonker is chasing Jandre Bucas in P1.
This is not going to be an easy pass to make.
Oh, this is getting intense. Peter Grobler is just a few car lengths behind Ernest Heather. It's true what they say, John, you're never completely useless.
Indeed, Lucy, you can always be used as a bad example.
John, what's the impact of tire degradation on race strategy? How does it affect a driver's approach to the race?
Tire degradation plays a crucial role in race strategy, Lucy. Teams and drivers have to consider the optimal time to pit for fresh tires and adjust their race pace to balance speed with tire conservation. It adds another layer of complexity to the racing challenge.
Look at that, Wayne Mitten is hot on the tail of Jonathan Visser.
Wayne Mitten needs to focus if they want to make a move and pass Jonathan Visser.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Robert R. Coots will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag flies.
This is where experience comes into play. Wayne Mitten has been in this situation before and knows how to defend the position, but Robert R. Coots is hungry for success and won't give up easily.
It's a close race between Rian Barkhuizen and Robert Arcoots in 12th. A great moment for Rian Barkhuizen, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings.
Yes, Rian Barkhausen is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel. It's all over. JP Brand has claimed victory in this race with a stunning drive that will be remembered for years to come. Clearly at the top of their game right now. The pursuit is on. Ronnie Jonker is closing the gap on Jean-Andre Bucas, determined to claim P1. Look at that. They're trading places in every turn, a constant game of cat and mouse. Each driver knows one mistake could cost them their lead. Tough break for Ernest Besson, who has just lost a position. Disappointing for Ernest Besson, they now find themselves in 14th. Rian Barkhuizen wants to get into Ernest Besson's slipstream.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
As we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
In racing, anything can, and usually does, happen, especially in such an epic showdown.
It's a battle of nerves now. JP Lau and Jacobus Basson are both pushing hard, but need to avoid mistakes that might cost them time or positions.
Jean-Pierre Dupoint seems to be putting the pressure on Rian Barkhuizen. Great driving from Jean-Pierre Dupoint, who has just gained a place and moved up to 16th.
That's what we like to see. Jean-Pierre Dutoit is really showing their class today.
A setback for Jean-Pierre Dutoit, who has just been passed.
Definitely, but Jean-Pierre Dutoit is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to fight back and regain that position.
Jean-Pierre Dutoit could be looking for a way up the inside of Jonathan Bissell.
If you don't push the boundaries, you will never know where they are.
A brilliant maneuver from Jean-Pierre Dutoit, who has just moved up the field.
Impressive. Jean-Pierre Dutoit is really showing their skill and determination out there.
Fantastic move from Jean-Pierre Dutoit, who has just gained a position.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
This is a thrilling battle as Lafitte Hazen edges closer to Ronnie Jonker in their fight for P3. Coming into garage areas, the fight for fourth is heating up. Neither driver wants to be the first one.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
Seems like Ernest Heather is getting in range of JP Brand.
And they are poised to capitalize on any mistake. It's just a matter of who cracks first.
The gap between Lafitte Hazen and Ernest Heather is razor thin as they vie for the win in this nail-biting contest. What a move! Lafitte Hazen has moved up to 5th. Peter Geldenhuys wants to find a way round Wayne Midden. It looks like Jean-Andre Bucas is in control. They're ahead of Robert R. Coots by over a second, and it doesn't look like they're going to be challenged anytime soon. Things are heating up as Robert R. Coots tries to close the gap to Gendre Bucas.
You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
Rising to the occasion and claiming victory would help to cement this driver's legendary status.
And it's not just about skill and talent. It's about who has the nerves of steel to handle the pressure and make the right decisions at the right time.
The race is really heating up. JP Liu is hunting down Philip Van Staden with everything they've got. For JP Liu as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Philip Van Staden has lost ground.
Absolutely, Lucy, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and JP Liu can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep driving with intensity and focus.
Looks like we've had a few incidents out there.
Someone forgot to take the driving lessons. They're making more U-turns than a confused tourist.
Hilarious. I think they might need to call their GPS for directions. Maybe it can help them navigate the track. This is getting exciting. Ernest Heather is looking for any gap that might open up the position. The action is non-stop as Lafite shadows Ernest Heather through every twist and turn, determined to claim fourth. An impressive showing from Lafite, who has gained positions and left Ernest Heather in the dust. Oh dear, Lafite has dropped down to fifth.
Yes, but there's still plenty of race left. Lafite needs to stay calm and focused, and make their move when the time is right.
Robert R. Coots is on a mission, chasing Gendre Bucas, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Robert R. Coots needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
Looks like Mike McNear is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control.
This one's going to be tough. Robert R. Coots is getting their elbows out, and there may not be enough time left for Mark Guy to make a move.
Robert R. Coots is doing a great job of defending in the lead, and Mark Guy is pushing hard to close the gap. It's an exciting race and it's not over yet.
Rian Barkhuizen is running 15th. They are trying to catch Ernest Hassan.
I would not be surprised if they get this pass completed soon.
The crowd is on its feet as Ernest Heather chases down Ronnie Jonker through Corb Dunlop.
This battle between Ernest Heather and Ronnie Jonker is so intense. You can cut the tension with a knife, or should I say, with a front wing.
It's a game of inches now as Lafite tails Ernest Heather closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
If Lafite gets any closer, they might as well ask Ernest Heather for a piggyback ride.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Wayne Mitten is closing in on Lafite.
The racing is getting tight between Wayne Mitten and Lafite as they battle for P5. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake can cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Gendre Bucas is chasing Peter Geldenhuis in P7.
The gap between them is just over 0.4 seconds. Can Gendre Bucas close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
Mike McNear is giving it their all as they chase down Gendre Bucas in P8. Superb It's all over. JP Brand has claimed victory in this race with a stunning drive that will be remembered for years to come. Clearly at the top of their game right now. Oh, this is getting intense. Ernest Besson is just behind Philip Van Staden. Every move counts now as Rian Barkhuizen works to reel in Ernest Besson and overtake for P14.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curbs and pushing the car to its limits.
Great driving from Rian Barkhuizen, who has just gained a place and moved up to 14th.
Yes, Rian Barkhausen is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
The pursuit is on, with Thiessen is closing the gap on Ernest Heather, determined to claim P3.
Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Thiessen should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Ernest Heather.
Wayne Midden is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a racer's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Mike McGear needs to be careful not to overshoot.
It's a battle out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other. A brilliant maneuver from Ernest Besson, who has pulled up, braking info. Looks like that's a mistake from Philip Van Staden. This could be costly. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Jacobus Besson in 17th chases after Martin Meyer. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Jacobus Besson needs to find a way to close the gap.
That's right, Jacobus Besson in 17th knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Martin Meyer is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
Wayne Midden wants to close that gap with Ronnie Johnson.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble at the boundary of disaster.
Things are heating up as Jean-Andre Bucas tries to close the gap to Mike McGear. This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other, braking development. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. This is a thrilling battle as Wayne Midden edges closer to Ronnie Jonker in their fight for P5. The intensity is off the charts as Mike McGear hounds Wayne Midden, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Braking development. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The pressure is on for Mike McGear as they try to catch up to Wayne Midden. It seems like Mike McGear is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Mike McGear needs to refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they are capable of.
John, how do racing drivers like yourself train themselves to maintain concentration for long periods of time?
Mental training is a huge part of a driver's preparation, Lucy. Techniques like meditation, visualization, and working with sports psychologists can help drivers build their focus and mental endurance for a race.
It's like Peter Grobler has saved all their energy for this final stretch. What a win! This is a historic moment for Peter Grobler, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision.
That was a true masterclass in driving from Peter Grobler. You could see them making split-second decisions with total confidence, and it really paid off. What a performance.
What a fantastic race from JP Grant, who brings it home in second place. That was an outstanding performance from Ernest Heather. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium.
Fantastic result.
4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th sees Wafik Thiessen, Ronnie Jonker, Wayne Midden, and Mike McGear. In 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, it's JP Liu, Jandre Bucas, Robert Arcoots, and Mark Guy. Rian Barkhuizen, Hernes Besson, Peter Geldenhuys, and Philip Van Staden claim 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Jacobus Besson and Martin Meyer in 16th and 17th. Coming in 18th, we have Jean-Pierre Dutoit.